Hi, welcome to AFTV. We've just beaten Leicester City 1-0 here at the King Power Stadium. How were you feeling about the game today? Were you nervy at moments, or were you feeling like, oh, do you know what, in full control today?
I was nervous a little bit, and then I think coming up and hearing the rumours about Eddie not being fit, I wasn't sure that he was even going to be on the bench. So when he was on the bench, I was actually quite surprised, and that was, I suppose, a little bit reassuring. And you are always nervous because obviously you don't know what Leicester side you're going to get. You could get the side that was bottom of the league, Brendan Rodgers was ready to be sacked, or you could get the one that went and spanked Spurs the other week. But actually, I felt like they were scared, and actually what that tells me is that is how teams react to us and how teams respect us. Because I think that when they went to United, they weren't scared, and I think they came at them, and I think they treated them like their equals. It didn't work out for them, but I think they didn't come out, and they showed us a lot more respect today than they showed United in the previous game. And I think what this team are doing for me is they're setting standards, and they're setting those standards every single week. I don't know if anyone else saw it, but Saliba and Gabriel were having a bit of a dig at each other at the end of the game, just about little things. But that's what you want. We've just kept a clean sheet. We've just come away with a really tough game, and they're going over the finer details and the technical details once the game's over, and that tells me about the mentality of that side, and kind of the levels and the standards that they put on each other and on themselves. And when you see that stuff that you don't necessarily see when you sat at home, you go, this side.
In business.
This side, they're not here to play. They're here to really, do some big stuff this season. And I think, the balance and the challenge that we're going to have now is the Europa League coming back in. So we just spoke about the March fixtures, but you leave the Europa League games out of there.
Are you worried for those? Because Arteta always uses it, I won't say as an excuse, but it definitely does affect the side, and he has been vocal about that. Do you worry about when that starts coming back into play?
I worry a little bit about the freshness of the squad.
I
worry a little bit about the rotation. I know we rotated a little bit today. You got 5 subs and we're using 2 every week. And sometimes you're questioning, actually, do you need to go and give Smith Rowe a run out at some stage? Just give him 10 minutes at the end now that he's kind of come back, kind of ease him back in. Reece Nelson wasn't on the bench today. When's he going to get minutes? Because when these players are then needed, they're then sometimes so far off the pace. And I think we've spoken about Gabriel, and he was absolutely superb today.
It's quality. Absolutely
superb. But actually, until Kivior came in January, actually basically played every 90 minutes, because we've not had anyone else to go and so you do need to sometimes drop these players out of the firing line a little bit. We were able to kind of work. Saliba came back from the World Cup, had a little bit of a dodgy time when he came back, but we played him through it, and we kind of just worked him through it. But it's positive. We've come away today, and I think, like you said, it's a flip end of what we saw last week. It's a complete reverse. It was so controlled, maybe even too controlled. And sometimes I think what Julian might have been trying to say earlier is sometimes those are the ones where a bit of complacency slips in, and you don't know if the referee's going to do something. Because that VAR decision that they turned around, I wasn't one that I agreed with personally. And then we had a challenge on Saka 2 minutes after, and the level of contact is exactly the same. So at what stage do they step in? At what stage don't they step in? There doesn't seem to be any consistency around it. So we're having to go out and just see teams off. But look, it's a fantastic result, absolutely fantastic result. And I think we put pressure back on City. And I think we said coming away in the Premier League and winning games in the Premier League is not easy.
Facts.
And City, we saw that with City last week when they went to Nottingham Forest. Everyone thought they were going to go, and it was going to Haaland was going to rack up the goal difference, and he might hit 30 goals. But it doesn't happen. And they just need one chance. Big centre forward comes on. And you just don't know. They put Paxton Daka on. They start making changes. They start becoming a bit attacking. They came out in the second half, and we scored so early, and it looked like they almost went to a back 3 and kind of caught themselves out. And Martinelli just was able to slip in down the side and kind of get in. But they were super physical today. And when I talk about the freshness of the squad, that's another thing that we got. Jorginho took some whacks today. Xhaka took some whacks. Martinelli took some whacks. And sometimes you just need to take them out of the firing line a little bit. But I also get the balance of wanting to kind of just keep the run. I also get players are running and playing well. You want to just keep them in, and players themselves want to stay in. Saka's not going to want to come off, but sometimes you have to, as a manager, you have to sometimes look after them. But look, we're doing the right things every week. We're going out, and we've had a bit of a blip. We've turned around, and like I said, seeing Gabriel and Saliba at the end of the game just made me go, this side is there.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.